Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to How to Draw a Self-Portrait with Mrs. Palmieri. Alright, so you won't need a lot of things today for our project. You're just going to need a piece of paper that you can draw on. It could be computer paper, it could be a sketchbook. You're going to need a mirror because I want you to try your best to draw yourself the way you see yourself. Alright, so I want you to be looking in the mirror while you're drawing. And then you need a pencil. So once you've got all your materials ready, we can start. Alright, boys and girls, a lot of times in art, the first shape we're going to draw is going to be a circle or an oval. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you think about how to draw the shape of your face, it's going to be kind of an oval shape. So we're going to start at the top of our page, not the tippy top of our page, but towards the top of our page. We're going to draw a big half a circle, and then we're going to need to turn it into an oval as we go down the page. You want it to be a skinnier oval down here because your chin is smaller than the whole top of your head. You might look back and see that you might want to change the shape of your face, right? You might want to round your cheeks. You might want to make it look more round. You might want to make your chin look more round. It's up to you. You gotta look in here and see how your face shape looks. So that was our first step, was drawing the shape of our face and our head. Alright, boys and girls, step number 2, and this one is an important one. It's drawing our neck. That's where our head connects to our body. And there's a common mistake that a lot of you boys and girls make when you're drawing. Not your fault. I blame all these cartoons. A lot of times when you guys start drawing a picture of a person, you draw their neck itty bitty teeny tiny right underneath their chin, like a teeny tiny rectangle. If our neck was this small, all day long we were walking, our head would just keep falling down. If you touch your own neck, just like I am right now, you can see it connects right underneath our ears. It connects right by our cheeks. So we're going to find where our cheeks are on our drawing. We're going to draw 2 lines going straight down. We're going to move on to our shoulder. That's another one that boys and girls, a lot of you guys draw what I call the SpongeBob SquarePants shoulders. Draw a line going straight out to the sides like this, and then straight down like a square. You can feel your shoulders on your own body. They're round. I also want you to touch the top of your shoulders and then put your hands straight up. Did you touch your face at all? No, because our shoulders actually go away from our face. We want to do a line that goes away from our face and curves down. It's okay if it even goes a little bit off the page as it starts to curve down. Now we've got the basic portrait shape. This is when we start adding things that are a little bit more like you and more unique. Are you ready? Alright, we're going to move on to something that's going to help us with the rest of this portrait. We're just figuring out where our eyes are going to go. Our eyes, if you start in the middle of where you've drawn your face and go a little bit higher up, we can draw a tiny dotted line just so we know where we're going to put our eyes later. It's going to help with this next step too because we're going to draw our ears next time. Your top of your ears is right at the part where we just drew our top of our ears and line up with our eyes. I'm going to draw the top of my ear starting here, and I'm going to draw half of a heart going down. I'm going to do that on the other side too. I'm going to start at this dotted line because I know this is where my eyes are going to go later. But right now, I'm drawing a half of a heart and going down. The bottom of your ears, your ear lobes, if you actually touch those and do an imaginary line across your face, you actually end up right underneath where your nose is. So that's going to help us later when we're trying to figure out where to put our nose. Remember I said I drew a half a heart shape for our ears? Hearts, when we draw them, they end in a tiny point at the bottom, but we don't want to have a point at the bottom of our ears. Our ears are round at the bottom. So now I'm going to add a little, almost like the letter U, to make it look round at the bottom. If you wear earrings, this is a good time to take a moment, pause the video, and draw your nicest pair of earrings if you want to add those. Alright, so we've got our ears placed, and this next part is where you really want to make sure you have a mirror to look at. Everybody's eyes are actually a little bit different. And look at the shape of your eyes. One thing I also want you to look at is artists found out that we could actually, maybe in some other universe, have a third eye fit right in the middle of our face. That helps a lot of artists. If they start drawing their portrait and they look at the two eyes they've drawn and there's not enough space to draw a third eye, they actually realize that they didn't draw them far enough apart. Right? You don't want to draw your eyes right next to each other. You need to have that space in between. I know this is a little tricky, and sometimes I just keep looking at myself in the mirror, keep looking at the paper, and might change as I go. I'm going to start by drawing the top line of my eye right here. Remember, our eyes are next to the top of our ears. That's how I knew where to put this. I drew the top line, and I'm actually going to kind of take this line like a measurement, almost like a ruler, scoot this way. This again, we'd have to have a third eye there. That's actually how much space is in between. And then scoot this way. I know I'm going to place another eye right here. And that kind of helped me figure out where to put it. And now I'm going to look at my eye shape. I think I'm going to go with kind of like this shape, more like an oval. Not, I don't want to be too big. I don't want my eyes too big. Alright. And then we can start adding some details to our eyes, like the inside of our eyes. This next step, I really need you to have a mirror for, alright? Look at yourself in the mirror. Do a very normal face. Now I want you to do a surprise face. Where your eyebrows are lifted way up, and you're super surprised or shocked about something. A lot of times in cartoons, I call these again, sorry SpongeBob, but I call these SpongeBob eyeballs. Where in a cartoon, they'll draw an eyeball, and then they draw our iris, that's that circle that has color in it. They'll draw our iris just floating there in the middle of the eyeball. That eyeball looks like it's super, super scared because usually we don't have our eyes open that wide. Usually when our face is relaxed, the top of our eye is going to touch the top of our iris. That's that circle. That circle, the top of it should be touching your top eyelid because you should look more relaxed, not so surprised. So we're drawing that circle, making sure that the top of it touches the top of our eyelid, and then we're going to draw a black dot in the center that is going to be our pupil. And then we've got some eyes started. Alright, you guys, next up is when we're drawing our eyebrows and our eyelashes. My eyebrows, I can barely see them right now. This is how my hairdo is. But something to remember about your eyebrows when you're looking in the mirror is your eyebrows are not going to be a straight line. Our eyebrows are a shape. So you might start by drawing a line, but don't forget to complete the shape of your eyebrows. Everybody's eyebrows are a little bit different, but they're usually curved. So you almost want to draw a line like you're about to draw half a circle above your eye. Then this is the part where it's a little bit different. I'm looking at my eyebrow shape, and I almost have a rectangular shaped eyebrow. I almost seem to have a line going straight up and then curving down like a rectangle. And you kind of just need to look in here and see how your eyebrows look. Some artists will draw actually the teeny tiny hairs inside the eyebrow bit by bit to help get the shape right. So after you've drawn your eyebrows, I know a lot of boys and girls want to draw their eyelashes. From far away, you can't really see my eyelashes. If you want to draw your eyelashes, you can. Please don't draw, again, sorry SpongeBob. Don't draw SpongeBob's eyelashes that stick straight up from his eye like this. So we're going to draw a check mark. I will say it's almost like drawing the Nike swoosh, like this, over and over, next to the corner of our eye. It's going to look like really pretty. And a lot of boys don't want to draw eyelashes. And now we're going to move on to our noses. Alright, so our noses. Get the corner of your eyeball. So sometimes they tell boys and girls, go ahead and draw a dotted line going down from the corner of this eyeball, and a dotted line going down from the corner of this eyeball. And then remember we talked about how the bottom of our ears line up with the bottom of our ears. That also helps us know where we're going to put the bottom of our mouth. We've almost made a little rectangle. Know exactly where our nose is going to go. My nose is probably a different shape than your nose. I have a very round nose. I'm going to first draw my nostrils, like drawing two parentheses. Just two parentheses. Then I'm going to draw actually a half a circle in between the two parentheses to show how round my nose is. And then I'm going to draw little lines and kind of corner them almost like little dots or circles for the nostrils. And then I might want to go ahead and add some shadow. So yeah, when I look at it, I think this kind of looks like it. I might draw some more shadows next to it to make it look even more round. Very round. You might have a different shape. Think about what shape is your mouth. Is it circle? Or is it pointed? Like a triangle? Like an upside down triangle? Or a cone shape? Stick out in the middle of our face. But just try your best to make it look like your nose. I want you to be looking in the mirror. Alright, one of our next steps is drawing. We almost poke ourselves in the eye. Our smiles are from eye to eye. I know the expression is to smile from ear to ear, but our mouth would be way too big if our really able to speak. We want to draw a smile that goes from eye to eye. I'm going to do just a slight line and kind of curve a little bit at the edges, make it look like a smile. But we're not an emoji. We don't just have one line across our mouth. We have lips, and we draw our lips too. And this is where you want to look in the mirror. Everybody has different shaped lips. Everyone has different sized lips. My top lip I'm going to draw almost like I'm drawing the letter N. A slight bump, a curve in my top lip. But my lower lip is almost like drawing a U shape. Now is one of my favorite parts about sunglasses in front of you. Is your chance to kind of have fun. When people first did portraits, they would get dressed up. They would get in their fanciest outfits and have their fanciest hairdo. Because we didn't have cameras a long time ago. We only had portraits. So if you were getting your portrait made by an artist, it was a special day. You'd get dressed up. You'd put on your fanciest jewelry. I'm drawing my hair by doing lots of individual lines because that's what our hair is. Every single piece of hair is one line. It starts at the top of our head and then usually goes down. So I'm starting at the top of my head and going down. I'm thinking about, okay, let's see, where's my hair stop? I have short hair that stops right by my chin. So I'm going to draw my lines going down and then I'm going to stop them right by my chin. Some of my hair curves out and some of it curves in. So I'm changing the direction of my lines. And this is kind of the time where you're like, okay, let me look at me in the mirror. Let me look at my drawing. Let me change a few things, right? So I've been looking at this drawing kind of sideways, and now it's my chance to go back and go, you know what? I'm going to change a few things. You can even go back and change the shape of your face. You can add shadows. This is your chance to make it look more like you. I just wanted to show you guys some of the steps. Alright. So this is starting to look a little bit like me. Maybe a little bit. Maybe kind of a cartoon version of me. And that's okay if it doesn't look exactly like me. I can keep adding to it. I can add decorations to my shirt now. I can keep adding more hair. I could even start a new one now that I've learned how to get started. And I hope you guys keep practicing your artwork at home, and I hope you had fun drawing a portrait with me. Everyone stay safe and stay healthy. See you.